You understand me? You know what I'm saying? You know we're in the crib, so you know we gotta take the shoes off. No shots in the ceiling. You understand me? How you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. You ready to talk about some stuff today?
Hey, man, you know it. Back and better. The co-hosts of the year, Dapper D, Dapper T, back on Dapper Dialogues with another heated, hot topic. Blessing y'all. We just giving y'all the game for real, keeping it real, trill. Our topics hit harder than Holyfield, the usual. You know what I'm saying? You can follow me on Instagram at Troy JR. It's on the screen.
And you can follow your boy, Depress the Barber. Underscore between every word. Yeah.
Nice. Now look, y'all know we just getting started for sure. Before we get into anything, like I said, I'm keeping it trill with y'all. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. So y'all know where we at. I don't know if you know, but if you paid attention, we shooting this in the $1 million facility right now.
They
AKA,
ain't even know that. Don't tell them too
hey,
much
look, but it ain't no AC.
now.
So I wanted to
Hey,
get on
some
here.
got a slack.
Look, before we get to cheer, I just really wanted to come and pop it, you feel me? And pop my OG piece, you understand me? Let y'all see a little something. It's hot though, I gotta take it off. But I just wanted to pop it real quick so y'all can see, you know what I'm saying, where I was going with it before we get into everything. Come on, all right, bet. So yeah, I had to let y'all do that. I had to, you feel me?
Now you got to get back on.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so we keeping it true. I'm gonna
So
keep
what's the
it all the way real.
what's the heated topic we're gonna start off with for him today?
Okay, so it's a whole bunch of things, right? And some of these things, I've been thinking about some of these things lately. Like I be just on it, bro. But like, bro, first off, make sure that like, comment, subscribe,
Yeah, don't
share the
forget that.
podcast. We're on TikTok, Dapper Dialogues, Instagram, Dialogues, YouTube. We got reels. We everywhere. Share
Everywhere. You probably didn't seen it already. But
Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. But one thing I want to talk about is how do you feel about smiling?
smiling.
Yeah, like smiling. As a man.
So, I mean, as a kid, I always smiled. Like,
Okay.
bro, it didn't matter what it was, bro. But I got a silly personality in a sort of kind of way.
Yeah.
But I think it's really because I was supposed to be a triplet. So I think I got like two other personalities in me, to be honest.
Just touch on that. Touch on that. Just a little. You ain't gotta go in deep. Just a little small story, so they know a little something.
Oh,
more.
about the triplets.
Yeah, this little.
So
something.
if anybody wanted to know, I was supposed to be a triplet, but I was supposed to be. It was supposed to be me, a little brother, and a sister, but the other two didn't make it. So kind of when we relate on the smiling situation, it kind of like, I mean, sometimes, bro, I could be the happiest person that you'll meet, and sometimes I could be the meanest person you ever meet. Like, and my wife always telling me, like, why you always look mad? I'm like, bro, I don't even be trying to act mad. It's just, I guess it's that face that I give, bro.
So that's all right. That's why I wanted to bring up this topic because that's been happening. So I never knew this. I thought I was all well. I mean, when I talk to people, I'm like you. Like I'm talking. I smile while I talk.
Yeah.
I'm real jolly. Like you feel me? I don't just be like going in other people's faces, like getting crazy. Like, but I mean, like once we get to talking, if you got unless you like did like some wrong to me or something, most likely I'm a what's the word like I don't want to say giggly because that's like feminine. But like I guess that's like
you're gonna be Joseph basically.
Yeah, like I'm a joking person. So I mean I'm real, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been happening to me a lot lately. So people have been telling me they like I look mean and people say why you don't smile, like what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm just natural. Like this is my natural face.
And also I think it is like I think every person does that like has like any type of thing going on with them. It can be a clothing brand, it could be investing, it can be because you're not just you sitting there, but you also thinking. Like you stand in space thinking of ideas in your head, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know I do. Like when I'm standing there, be like, "You good?" I was like, "Yeah," but because sometimes I be mad. I be like, "Damn, why I didn't think of that sooner?"
Bro, that happen to me all the time. So. But it's starting to like get to the point where it's like I'm trying to not do it now because, like, bro, in like the past 2 weeks, I've gotten told this. Like, I've gotten told it a lot. Like, people at work always be telling me, like, yo, smile. And I thought, niggas be saying that because, always is work. But,
Yeah.
like, lately, people been telling me, like, yo, do you smile? Like, I'm like, and then I started looking back and, like, old pictures and stuff. And it's like, dang, I really don't be smiling. But it's not like I be trying to, I don't be mugging.
But I think that's the generation right now, though. Like, even when people take pictures, you're not gonna have that many laughing pictures. You're gonna have most
Yeah.
of your pictures gonna be like a straight face, like some model type shit.
I mean, I just be trying to, like, just like, I don't know, I just be being me. You feel me? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, but this is why I really wanted to bring up the conversation because I feel like my thing is deeper than, like, just to, like. So that's why I said. So I ain't let you finish. So how do you feel? We talked about smiling and stuff, but how do you feel about smiling as a man and smiling as a black man? On top of that, it could all be one, but just so you
I
can get
mean,
details.
it could be a lot of like situations like with that because like smiling a lot, they gonna think like you a pushover.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. Like I feel like if I smile too much in front of the wrong people, they gonna
Mm-hmm.
feel like they can get over on you. So that's why really I keep that face all the time, bro. Like especially when I'm in public, bro. You
Yeah.
about to I'm mean face, especially like we walking in a crowd or something. Like we in Houston just walking, bro. I'm straight mean face because I don't want a nigga to try to take me like I'm some type of joke, bro.
Yeah. Now,
That's just me.
I feel it, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, so I always play football and stuff. So I'm like I'm big, but I'm like solid. So like when people see me, they already be a little like a little woo woo woo. Especially like if I dap somebody, bro. This is another thing, bro. I never like let's dap up, bro. I never. We gotta do that. We ain't getting no. There we go. But whenever I dap people up, I don't. I mean, I guess since you a kid, especially when I was always hanging around older like uncles and they always like it's like the man with the most dominant handshake is
Yeah.
it's the alpha male. So when I like that was when I was a kid, like how they you ever have somebody squeeze your hand and do
Yeah.
the little
I had
like
uncles do that to me
and
all the
it feel like
time.
it like pop your finger out of
Shout out to Uncle Alfred, because you know you
bro.
used to do that, and my grandfather, rest in peace.
Shout out Mr. Harry, the pecan man. Rest in peace. He was the first one that did it to me. It used to feel so weird. And bro, I don't know what it is about old men and old man strength, bro. But old man strength is real. I be telling people don't mess with the old man
Bro, for
strength,
real.
bro. Bro,
For real,
like
for
old
real.
man strength is like. So he used to do that, and I like it used to mess with my hand. I be like but I guess being around like old heads and like I used to want to play dominoes and all that. So to be around them, you gotta like adapt and all that. So I guess that's one thing I picked up. I mean, I'm already strong. Like, I lifted weights all the time in high school
Yeah.
forever, and I lift heavy. Like, cause I was always wanting to be. I actually kind of wanted to do. I wish my team had like a lifting team. We didn't have one, but I wanted to do that. Like, I wanted to just like lift. Like, I just thought I was just so strong. Like on some Hawk type stuff. Just lifting weights, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, it's many things that I like. You know how some people they do stuff and they get a rush out of it. Bro, I
Yeah,
really get a
yeah.
rush. Like I get a rush out of completing things, but certain things like bro, it's like certain things that just like bring your like the most masculine toxic traits out of you. I like that. Like when you just in the gym and you just feel so like you feel just like so like strong and aggressive, like just or like bro, I ain't gonna lie, hitting push-ups. Bro, you can't even count. You hit some push-ups, you ain't even gotta hit that many.
Hey, especially if you're going against somebody though.
And you just get up and like
Nigga
you
ain't do
just
push-ups in 12 years.
and you just
But like, I bet you can't give me 25. Shit,
and don't let it be a crowd around.
oh
Cause
nah, I might give you more than
you
that.
and then you can't even if you do 100, you got to make it seem like it was slight. Like
Bro,
you,
easy.
if you get up like they were like, "Hey, you did 100, but you straight." But yeah, I don't know what it is, bro. It's like just doing things like that that just like make me. I like that. Just like when you just doing stuff and it's like just make you feel like a raw man, like on some caveman type stuff. Just like pushing a truck. Like how people used to push trucks for workouts and all
Yeah.
that. Like just doing like just raw manly stuff. I don't like doing all that domestic manly stuff though. Like I ain't trying. I mean, I could do it, but I ain't trying to put on no ceiling fan. I ain't trying to. I build a table like. But I'm at the point where when I get to that point, I should have enough money to pay somebody to come do that. Like,
Nah, I was raised doing that though.
I
That's
mean
all
that,
my daddy
but
did,
that
bro.
I think that's why I am the way I am. Because I'm like, bro, when I get some money, I'm paying people to do all the stuff that
It
I
was
didn't want to
nothing.
do.
It was nothing like nothing that I couldn't learn. Like it was everything. I had it all in the family. Like my
Yeah,
daddy did basically. My daddy did plumbing. He did a little bit of electricity. He built houses from scratch. Did concrete. Like bro, he just
nigga
did
said
everything. Then I
build.
got my
He said
grandfather's.
build houses from scratch.
Bro, then you got my grandfather. He did both of my grandfathers did fences.
Mm.
One of them did pools. Bro,
Oh,
I
so
had
y'all had a whole
bro,
y'all
we
had,
had man, I'm telling you,
but
bro.
I think that was my problem. So my grandfather, I never met him. He died, I think, right when I was born or right before I was born. But I heard the stories of how strict and how work oriented he was. And you met some of my uncles. Some of them passed away, but you met some of them before they passed.
Yeah.
R.P. Uncle Larry, R.P. Uncle Coco, all my just rest in peace, everybody. But it's a lot of stories, and they was like, oh, he was like he wasn't to be played with. They say he went to Angola, like he was like ride or die. He went with his friend, didn't snitch. Uh, End up getting out. He was with some, I think he was with some black activist. I don't remember who it was, but it was some like known black activist. You know, like the Malcolm X's and Morgan.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
somebody like that. Like I don't remember who it was. My grandma said, but he got caught up with them. He was also a Freemason. My pops Freemason. Shout out to Freemasons. Uh, but yeah, he was a Mason too. And like we used to hear all these stories about how like firm and strong, like and iron. Like he basically ran the house with like an iron fist. Like he
And
was,
how old would he be if he was still alive?
man. I don't know, bro. My oldest uncle that just passed away was like 60 something. So he would have probably, and I think he was old. He he was, I think, like almost 10 years older than my grandma because they got married when she was 14.
Okay.
So back in the days, if she was 14, he might have been 20. I don't want to throw no numbers on him, but I don't
Yeah, I
know.
feel you. I
But
feel you.
I would assume he was at least probably around 20. Like I think no more than 10 years for sure. But I think at least maximum a 10 year gap. So he could have been anywhere around 24 to
Yeah.
15 because she was 14.
So since we on that,
Yeah.
who was one of your mentors back then? Like I know, I mean, most people have a few mentors, like, but who was one of them?
I ain't gonna lie. I grew up real Bible oriented since a youngin. So I never wanted to have an idol. Uh, and I made it my duty to make sure like certain parts of the Bible, like even though they got the Old Testament and the New Testament, they say they kind of threw out all the Old Testament, and we don't really necessarily live by that anymore, mainly by the New Testament.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to have any idols, so I never looked up to nobody, like but myself. Like I'm my own role model. Like honestly, like because I'm like, bro, you a man, I'm a man. You bleed like I bleed. You put your leg, your feet, your clothes on, pants on, one leg at a time. Like me, it's like I ain't gonna lie. When I see grown men like 20, 30 something, bro, I think that's weird when they be like, oh, that's my idol, or oh, you my mentor. Like I don't even believe in paying for a mentor brand wise. I'm like, you don't know this because you didn't know it at once either. You did it, you figured it out. Now you trying to run some cheese. Like it's a million brand owners, and all these brand owners didn't have mentors.
Yeah.
Everybody just figured it out. So I mean, like if I put in enough time, I'm gonna figure out the same game. And then really and truly, if you really trying to mentor somebody, one, you're not gonna be charging because a lot of these people, that's the new game. They charge for being a mentor.
Yeah.
But if you got 10,000 people that you mentor, you're not really invested. You just taking their money and giving them little tips here and there.
Yeah. That's how I kind of feel about the situation. Like I ain't gonna say I had mentors, but I had people I looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I looked at their situations basically as my situations, and I learned from them.
Yeah.
So really, like I looked up to basically all my like really, man. I looked up to a lot of people, bro. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna say like looked up to them, but like I watched what they did, and I take a lot of things in.
Yeah,
Like when I see something, it can be all the way good and then it can turn bad, but I'm not gonna take that bad part. I'm gonna erase that and I'm just worried about the good.
that's a fact.
So I can see, and it might it's not a I ain't gonna say it's a bad thing, but you start to learn from other people's mistakes.
Bro, that's the best one. I don't like when somebody try to tell me something. Like even like my dad, that's why I think that's another reason why like growing up, bro, like being when you like I said, when you just like pro masculine, like you just so masculine, once you get to a certain age, like if you don't understand how to control it, you just gonna it's gonna be too much masculinity in the house. So like as a kid, I think once I hit like 12, like it was just like unnecessary arguments and stuff going around the career because it's like you get to that point where you know you're like you feeling out, you getting stronger,
Yeah.
you're like you feel me, you starting to see adults like weakening you, you kind of like balancing out. So it's like now my dad trying to maintain his home and everything. So anything I do, he taking it as disrespect. I'm getting older. I'm like, man, come on, bro. I'm getting older. You feel me? So we bumping heads a lot, whole lot of arguments. Me and I'll never forget, bro. I mean, I don't know if we laughed up and joked about it once I graduated. We talked about it, right? Because whenever I graduated high school, we had like this long, deep talk outside, uh, like that night. But I never forget. I was in 10th grade. I was coming home from a baseball game. Uh, I used to play baseball, go Laird Hamilton and stolen bases. You feel me? Believe it or not, true. But so we came from a baseball game. I still have my baseball uniform on, and then my pops had cooked, or somebody cooked. I don't remember, but I remember I was scooping some beans, and it was on the stove. And you know how they got that little gap in between the stove. I was scooping it on my plate, and it fell like not the plate, but like just when I was scooping over, something fell in the crack. Something small, right? Nothing major. You know my mom, very very animated. So it fell between the crack, and you know she just went made she blew it up, and it could have been dealt and handled a lot different because oh I could just clean it up, but I'm a triggered person. And I've been maintaining it now, but like I'm a very like to myself and I'm observative, but it's like I get annoyed. So like certain things are just snap. So I remember at the point she was like going off, and I was like, all right, man, I get it. I'm still fixing my foot. I'm like, she like, I'm like, and then I think I said like, damn or something. And then when that happened, you know how that bitch you as a kid. And then my mom was like, "Oh, so you cussing at me now?" I'm like, "Oh my god, bro." Then my dad was in the back. You know how that. You know how they got a cosign, so he what's going on? I'm like, bro, now it's getting worse. So at this point, I'm mad, frustrated because one, I'm just you feel me. She over my shoulder, in my ear, making the situation worse. Now he woo, and then I was hurt. I had a hurt leg or a hurt arm or something. So I wasn't at 100%. So my daddy came, he came over and I was at the table and I stood up. He like, what? Well, you got your fist balled up like you want to do something. And I was like, man, look what. Here go my mama egging it on in the background. She like, hit him. He hurt anyway. she like, she like, hit him. He hurt anyway. He ain't 100%. I'm like, bro, that's just come on, bro. Like you gonna like be real. Like come on. So all this going on, and then it just ended up dying down. But like, and then so, but I was like, it ended up dying down. But when we went, like just 2 years later when I graduated, we was talking about it, and I was like, hey man, because he was like, what you want to go outside in the grass? And then I was like, man, it don't matter.
Y'all
But
niggas about to really
bro,
fight.
but I'm serious. But it did like we kind of de-escalated it. But whenever we talked like 2 years later, I was like, hey, I ain't gonna lie. That day we was doing that, we would have went outside. We don't know how this would have played out because I was mad and like I was really frustrated because I get mad. I'm real like self-aware. So like I can maintain my emotions and I try to react instead of respond. Like so, reacting is like a 1 second nature. Responding is more of a you analyzing,
Yeah.
putting the numbers in, then putting out a response.
I I had a situation like that happen with me and my pops, but it wasn't really that serious. Like, he had me in a weird situation though. See, he thought he was slick, bro.
Yeah,
So you know how like whenever you I forgot whatever happened, but he had stood up and he was like how it was set up was it was the couch right here and he had his recliner like somewhere over
yeah.
there. And we talking or whatever. And I this was like maybe like 11th grade. So he told me something, and I responded back, and he got up, bro. And by the time I can get up, by the time I could get up, he caught me. As soon as I got up, he pushed me right back down. I was like this. Then he was like, "Oh, you think you could do something?" So, bro, he started, bro, the worst thing. I'm not gonna lie, it will make me mad like off rip was when somebody put their
The
finger in my
finger,
face.
oh my.
Bro, my daddy used to put that one finger, this finger right here, used to take it and he'll hit you in your forehead. Like he'll poke you in your forehead or poke you in your chest.
Now that chest is different.
Bro,
They finger be hard.
not, but he made it to like, bro, if a finger's in my face, I naturally react,
like
bro, because I'm like, I couldn't do him nothing.
Yeah.
But shit, the nigga put this, like, you feel me? So, and that was just something he did, bro, and he caught me off guard that one time, but I didn't really, me and my pops really didn't. He was more like I saw him on the last episode, like he worked all the time, bro.
Yeah.
He had to take care of us, so it was rare that I saw him.
Yeah.
I seen him, but it was more of my mama. So when that happened, it kind of happened because I would go to my mama for everything.
Yeah.
Like I really didn't go to him, and I guess it kind of touched him a little bit. So that's how it really happened. It's like you never come to me for stuff, but I was like, I do. It's just certain things, like
I think that's just natural though, because I know, sure, even now, like when I was in college and all that, like all my whole life, my pops was at work. You know, he was a barber. He leave at 8, come back at 10, 9, 8,
yeah.
12-hour shifts almost. And I'm at the home, I'm either doing whatever, So I never was asking my daddy for nothing, because even when I would call him, he was at work. So he like, ask your mama. So I'm like, all right, I just got in the habit of, since I was a young, always asking my mama, ask her. So that was pretty much the same thing with me.
Yeah.
Like, then once they, I guess they start to realize, and once they start to get older, then they're like, dang, I really don't have the relationship I thought I had with them. And that's because well, it's like, yeah, you was providing and handling business.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't. It is like you're not blaming them.
Yeah, nobody blaming them, but it's like you can't like, all right, say if like I'm like my dad used to be my coach. He coached me in sports. This is a great example. He coached me in sports. He was like my actual coach, and we worked out at home. He was my coach like when I first started playing every sport. He was my coach for like my first 2-3 years. Then once I started getting on teams, and I started off, used to play quarterback. So I'm QB, and we working on drills at the house all the time. And then I get to practice. Coach might have a different game skin. So it's like that. So now it got to the point where my dad was trying to, like, I don't even know if you call it overstepping, but like it just wasn't the time or whatever, because it was many times at football games where like my coach yelling at me, my daddy yelling at me. They saying two different things. And then after the game, my dad get mad, talking about, I'm your dad. You're like, so it was that. And then it got to the point where I learned how to zone everybody out. Like once I was in high school, on senior night, all that, like the whole season, my dad was always in the stand. I used to see him, but I used to try not to know where he is.
Hey,
because
you sure you press play this time, huh?
Yeah, you want to go check right quick?
Yeah, let me. I'm kind of what's her name?
Just make sure that joint recording.
All right, yeah, cool.
Check the mic. Make sure the light's still on.
Yeah, we good.
All right. But yeah, so my dad was at all the games. Well, whenever he was at the games, I used to try not to look for him, because if I look for him, I know where he at, and based on where I'm at on the field, my brain gonna remember. I ain't gotta know, but like your brain remembers stuff.
Yeah.
So my brain gonna know he does. So if he say something, I'ma hear it. So I got to the point where I didn't look in the stands or nothing.
You zoned them out.
I zoned everybody out, because if I look in the stands and be able to hear him or see him, I'm going to hear him, and then it's going to throw me off. So I remember after the game, she'd be like, man, you ain't hear me? I'm like, nah. He was like, man, I was right behind. I was like, I didn't hear you. And it got to the point where I really didn't hear him. So, like.
Yeah, you normally get in that zone to where you don't hear nobody.
Yeah. But that's another reason, too, back on the mentor thing, like, one of the main reasons why I never looked up to nobody, and once again, times changed. But I always saw like the bigger picture, like no matter what. Like I always had the brightest vision, like for me, my family, and everybody. So it's hard to look up to what you ain't got.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking up to billionaires, millionaires, and it ain't even about the money. It's more about the success and how they carry themselves.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying my father, he had a business. I mean, but that wasn't the type of business I wanted to run. He was a barber, so it's like he had his own barbershop. That's cool, that's good. But what I was wanting to do, I want to, yeah, entrepreneurship, but in a different way. So it's like it's hard. Maybe if I would have had a different person to like or something, a different situation around, like maybe I would have had a different outlook on mentors and stuff. But I know me personally, it was kind of pointless. Like, why would I look up to you and I want to be better than you? Not saying what you're doing is like beneath me, but it's like I don't want to be a teacher. I'm not looking up to a teacher. Now I can take some information from anybody.
Yeah.
I'm a sponge,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna look up to this and I want to be this, and I'm not gonna look up to this if I want to be this, or I'm definitely not gonna look up to this. But I can take some game from all this.
Yeah.
Like I took some game from homeless people, old people, injured people, everything. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Even people on TV.
bro, it literally doesn't matter. And then on top of that, like I don't even know how to put it, but like having a mentor is kind of like I feel like even if you got a good person to look up to, I think it's best to just I just don't like the mentor. Like when it's like so when like Charles is small.
Mm-hmm.
When I started my clothing brand, like it was kind of quiet. And then as I grew, a lot of younger people from the city reaching out, and I help everybody. If you reading this, if you want to start, I mean, even if I don't want to, you wouldn't know because I help people every day, and I get them the most game that I can. I was helping this one dude. Shout out Yada USA on Instagram. It's YATTA.USA. A youngin that I just seen his stuff, liked it, reached out to him and reposted his stuff, and then he just be looking out for help. But he had like genuine pieces. But I don't like the mentor and stuff because like I said, whenever my stuff is starting to gain some traction, a lot of younger people is looking out to. I'll help you, but I wouldn't want to be no mentor. I'd rather just be like
Yeah.
a helpful guy because when all these youngins that be reaching out to me, even when I was doing YouTube and stuff, I tell people don't try to be me, try to be better than me.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm giving them the information that I learned when I'm 18, 19, and you 15. You should be better than me. Like, cause I got this information relatively late to you.
Yep.
So, but if you take this information and run with it and apply it to your life quicker, then you will be on pace to being better than me.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's why, bro, it can be somebody that I don't even know. Like, it could be a random person. Yeah. And they can hit me up on Instagram and be like, man, what you had to do like to get this far, whoopie woo. And I'll be like, man, I tell them the truth. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm gonna show them. I don't want them to go through the same path that I went through. Because my path was like this, bro. I want people that watches this and like follow me and everything, even people that don't follow me. I want them to go on the straight path, bro. Yeah. And all them obstacles that I had to go through, they shouldn't have to go through
it. Even if they don't go on a straight path and they go on a curved path, that's cool. Everybody got their own path. Yeah. But we transitioning. I don't want you on the horse and buggy. If you're gonna go curves, we're gonna at least get you in a Bentley.
Yeah.
So if you're on the highway, at least the curves, woo, but sometimes the curves might help you avoid some stuff and get you to the spot quicker than a straight line. Straight line, you might have stoplights. You might have stop signs, road walks, babies crossing the road.
That's why I mess with Hollywood Shaq. Shout out to him because he get on. I watch his live almost every day, bro. Yeah. He get on live every day, and he be showing people like putting people on game. Yeah. Even if it's about betting, even if it's about like, bro, the clothing brand, just regular advice, bro. I see him reaching out to people, and that's a good thing, bro. That's a lot of people that we need. Just like us three, it's like if they had more of us to basically put out information like we do to people that we don't even know, bro, the world would be a whole lot different. For real.
Now so I know we jumped all over the place, but because we never even finished it, but back to the smiling thing. Because I never so did you finish yours on white? All right, so reason why I think smiling as a man and a black man on top of that is hard because me growing up, I smile like when it's a reason, like a joke. Like I feel like, and I always said this, I never understood like I've never been to a club yet because I feel like when you go to certain schools, you got to be set up financially a certain type of way. I
Mm-hmm.
always be like, I don't understand how you can go to a club, uh, and throw all this money or buy all these bottles and stuff, and you going back home and you messed up your pockets, eat. You don't know where your next meal coming from, but you going out every weekend.
Because that's for people that celebrate in the moment.
But
Like,
I never understood it because me. That's why I never smile because I'm like, what's the reason? Like, it got to be a reason. Like, I'm grateful and I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for waking up every day. I'm thankful for the position I am and the blessings and the path that I have yet to come.
mm-hmm.
But in the moment, it's like sometimes I don't need to smile. What the job not finished? I'm working. I'm working every day to try to get to. I'm at point A. I got to get to point B. When I get to point B, I got to get to point C. I'm not going out when people tell me to go out. Most of the time, I'll do like little small like small niche little get together, and
Mm-hmm.
more intimate stuff like that. But the whole big yeah, I'm not really into that. Maybe I will whenever I get in a certain position.
Well,
But I'm
that's how the
like,
old people used to say. The old people used to say, "It's a time to smile and a time to be serious."
yeah. So me personally, it's like I'm not going out trying to mess up f up the streets, f up the club, all
Yeah,
my money. I'm like, bro, what? Like, okay, and then it's a lot of people that's like they got a little bit, but they still don't got enough. Like you might have a decent job, you might get paid every week. Say you get paid 800 every week, cool, but you still got bills, you got expenses, and you still want to have some money to sit on in case an emergency happen or whatever.
yeah.
So you like, you never know. We ain't had no mercy in a minute. I'm gonna go to the club and throw 500 tonight just so they can think I'm balling. But you pulling out the parking lot in the Nissan.
Facts.
Like you feel me? You're not even you just doing it for social media attention grabs, all that. Is like you not living in your truth. And
Like, I ain't never been to like strip club or none of that
yeah, me
because, bro, I'm
neither.
not. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not giving my money. I just can't do it, bro. I
See,
don't see myself wasting money.
now I ain't gonna lie. I am like you heard me say earlier. I like to pay people for services. Like even when it's like my friends now, even if I ain't got the money, I'm always trying to figure out a way to. If I can't give you no cheese, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to throw you something or give you some exposure or put you on to a play. Like a lot of cameramen out here I've been working with in Dallas. Shout out 1400 visuals. Shout out Deuce De Niro, like all the people that I've been working with out here. If I ain't got a cheese, I'm gonna put them onto a plate because I've been meeting a lot of rappers and influencers and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people out here they looking for stuff like that. So I'm pointing them in the right direction so we can all eat. You feel me? So I'm doing stuff like that so everybody can level up. Like
Oh,
I don't know, but and then on top of that, I'm like smiling is different because like I'm like as a black man, you already looked at a certain kind of way. You feared, like everybody fears the average black man, no matter who you are. Like,
that's another reason why I don't want to be too mad and I don't want to be, you feel me, because
yeah,
they think of a black man as always
a
being
threat,
angry.
they,
So
and
and
that make me mad. Whenever I get stereotypes, like it make me mad because now it's like you pulling it out of me now.
mm-hmm.
Cause like I'm not that dude. I grew up in a certain area, but I went to a different type of area of school, so I know both sides of the fence. You feel me? I grew up around all this yeah, and then I went
Yep.
to school with collars and all them type people, so I know both sides. So it's like I basically know the system, quote unquote. So I grew up around them, and when I get around certain people and they stereotype you because the way your hair is, the way you dress, and then it's like, man, what the like? You feel me? Then that's just gonna automatically pull out a side that you didn't even want to bring out
Yep.
because it's like they trying, like they disrespect. I don't tolerate disrespect.
That's why I tell people I couldn't live. I'm glad I was born when I was born.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have made it back in the day, bro. It's
Sometimes
it's no way, bro. They disrespected, like it was total disrespect back in the day, bro.
yeah.
I just feel like I wouldn't I
My
wouldn't
my
have lasted with that.
my dad said he grew up in a little bit of the segregation, a little bit like I think he said they had like different water fountains a little bit whenever he was coming up, but it was kind of mellowing out. But I don't know. Sometimes because I feel like I'm an old soul. Like I mean, I'm grateful and thankful for my time here now. But I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like I would have probably like I would have been one of them ones back in the day. You know, it was a lot of like because that's how I'm trying to bring it back now, except not race wise, just everybody. So like back in the day, black people was like really looking out for their people.
Yeah.
Like it was like real love. So it's like now I can see me, you know, like this is you in an all black neighborhood, everybody watering their grass. This was before all the violence and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody look like they cooking, everybody, oh baby, come get a plate. It's like more like family. Like this is when you actually knew your neighbor,
Yeah.
yo, like, oh, your mama not home, you can come over here, like them type things, like stuff like that. So I'm like, I think like, you know, the ladies was real pro black back then, you feel me? Yeah, I think I would have
Man,
understand me.
see, I feel like I would have been good like in the maybe in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel like I would be at. Like if I was in like maybe like 1970, like 75 or something like that, because bro, I have an old soul. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like for real. Like Dejana used to tell me this all the time. She used to be like, bro, why you don't never want to do nothing? Because at first, bro, I used to say do nothing. I used to just be at
Yeah.
home. That's
Yeah.
that's what I was used to. And I'd be at home either watching TV. She always asked me, why you always watching these old school movies and stuff?
Yeah.
Like I'd be watching, like I said, Friday. I'd be watching Harlem Nights.
Mhm.
Like I watch stuff like that. And she'd be like, when did this come out? So I'd be looking it up, and she'd be like, "Bro, that is crazy. Like, watch something that's in the 2000s."
Now I ain't gonna lie, I'm like that, but not necessarily with shows, but mainly with music. Like, bro, it's like some songs that like I haven't even heard in a while, but when it come on, I just know it. Like if I hear like a Biggie song, like Biggie, Biggie, Biggie,
Mm-hmm.
can't you see? Something like I just know the whole just. And I think what it was because I, you know, back in the day they used to have Vivo,
Mm-hmm.
Comcast on the like the music channels, uh,
VH1.
VH1, and they used to always just be playing.
Yep.
So I think as a kid, my brain was just listening to it, and like bro, like a lot. I remember I don't really remember like physically listening to Kanye West music until like maybe high school, but I knew a lot of his songs because when I was a kid, I remember at daycare, 106 and Park and all that.
Yep.
I watching the TV and stuff, and like I never forget. Remember that I think it was it was around the area of the graduation. We had the little bear, all the little bear. That was his little thing. The bear covers, the bear albums.
Yeah.
He had this one music video, and it was like a bear going through like space or something like that. It might have been Good Morning or whatever, but I think that's probably one of my favorite Kanye songs. But I just
Yeah, that was that was on his album. Good
and I
Morning.
yeah, and I just remember that it was like Good Morning,
Yep.
and it was just like good vibes. The cartoon dude walking through the city, the vibrant colors, all that. But it just like automatically resonated with me just because like it unlocked like a core memory
Mm-hmm.
in my head.
That's just that's just like whenever you drive or you riding with somebody
Yeah,
and you listen to a song you never heard before, but
and you didn't. Yeah.
it just registers in your head.
All right, look. So now I'm gonna go pull up the questions, man.
Man, what
We asked y'all to send us questions on the Dapper Dialogues Instagram. We got a few, but I have seen a few that I think are good for the pod. So this is one that I think is really good. So it says, "Are you an L man's for denying your man's money?" How do you
wait,
feel
say it
about
again.
that? Are you an L man's for denying your man's money? How you feel about that?
I don't know.
I feel like it goes.
I don't
I
know.
feel like it could go two ways because me, well, three ways. One, I feel like this is how I would look at it. Because no matter how messed up I am, it's a lot of my close friends that I still wouldn't ask for no money. I ask family because family, quote unquote, not supposed to judge you. But it's a lot of people that I wouldn't ask. But you know how much this how even with homeless people, I'd be like, you know how much pride you gotta swallow to
Yeah.
literally just be like, man, bro, hey, I'm in this, and hey, can I borrow $40? Or I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even ask for money, bro. If I feel like if I can't get it, that means I just can't
but
get
I
it.
mean, you never know. It might really be like a dire situation. I mean, now a real like an established adult, they can have credit cards and stuff like that. Like, so they don't need to ask
Bro,
nobody.
even I look at it even like that because okay, you was at a high point in your life. I feel like everybody eventually didn't have one high point in their life and they was up. And if you let yourself get that far down, like I feel like it's
But it don't necessarily always have to be that they falling down. Like, prime example, one of my close friends, I already knew when he asked me, he needed it because he never asked nothing, and I be with him and all that. He's never asked, even like we'll go places. Here, like, when you with real partners and y'all go places, sometimes you ain't paying all the time. Like, you like, hey, I got it, bro. Hey, I got it. This time.
yeah, that
Like,
and
stuff like that.
yeah.
So we did that. So I knew like he ain't messed up about no money, but he had was like, yo, I think he was like in Florida or something. He's like, yo, I'm in Florida right now, bro. My car locked. Woo doo doo woo, bro. Can you send me like 40 woo doo doo woo? And I was like, all right, bet I got you. And I was like, I already knew. I ain't pressing him about, hey, when you gonna get it back? Like, cause I know you, if you need it, you're not gonna ask me unless you need it. And then on
Yeah.
top of that, this is another thing I don't like about the money situation. If I borrow money from somebody, I'm updating you every day on your money status. Like,
See, that's why I don't. That's why I don't like borrowing money. I know if I ask any of my partners, bro, I know for sure, like any of
yeah,
them, because I only hang with loyal people. So
exactly.
I know any of them, bro. They gonna be like, they know I really need it if I'm asking for it, because I don't really ask for nothing. But
Yeah,
when it gets to the point to where like you need it, I'm kind of like, I'm gonna do the same thing. If you
mm-hmm.
need it, I know they're not gonna ask me if they don't really need it.
Yeah,
Like that's it. We all the same. So what you saying is, I guess I really don't see nothing wrong with it, but
I think it still depends though, because like whenever I give money, like I said, I'm updating you all the time. I don't like when you give somebody money and okay, you're like, oh, you need it, right? I understand this is a emergency or something, so I'm not pressing you about the time, like when you get it back. But I don't like whenever like when somebody borrow money from you and then they like kind of like they moving like y'all ops, like bro, this happen
yeah,
all the time,
yeah.
bro.
I
Cause
feel you on that. I
I
get you on
loan
that.
people money. I don't hear back from them like they ducking me like we got beef. Like, bro, it ain't no beef. Just pay me my money back. You told me you needed it and or at least update me on the situation. Hey, bro, I don't have a job still. Yeah, okay, cool. I'd rather you tell me. You can even lie. Just tell me something. But don't have me, because now I think you playing with me. When I
I
see,
don't honestly. I don't even want it back.
but that's another thing too. But I at least want because like I feel like if I know you owe me money and you get on Instagram and you popping it,
Oh
now
yeah, see
now
now,
now I'm
yeah.
getting mad because I'm like, yo, you escalating the situation. Like, you on Instagram, you buy you Casamigo it up, but you can't give me my $70 back. Now I feel like you testing my
Yeah, yeah.
manhood, and now I feel like you gonna escalate it into something that it don't need to be.
I
But
kind of let that money go. Like
now
once I loan it, I don't even want it no
now
more.
that's how I look at it too. Now that's why I say go multiple ways about the L man's denying money. Because me, when I give it out, whether I tell you I'm a now don't run with this now. If you owe me some money, I need it. But when I loan people money, I already chalk it up as I'm not gonna get it back. Not
Mm-hmm.
because I think they unworthy. Like, oh, I don't think I just chalk it up as a mental thing. Like, don't give it out if you can't chalk it up as it's gone. And that was something I learned early, because I remember it was times I loaned somebody money, and I'm just a good heart. I want to make sure everybody's sure. I want to make sure everybody eat. So if I got $40 and I need my 40, but I gotta wait for me to get some cheese, I'm gonna be like, damn, I could get this cheese back. You don't got no job. But I know I can go get $40 or 50 or whatever it is. So I'm like, all right, boy, you need 40 here, take it. I'm gonna go find. I can get that back. I ain't never tripping
Mm-hmm.
about no money. Money grow on trees. You feel me? I ain't tripping. I'll go get it. That's how I look at it. So whenever that happened, I'm like, dang, and I was messed up. So then that made me realize at a young age, like, all right, boom, if you need it back, don't give it out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, now you can still receive it back, but don't give it out. Like, if you got $600 in your account, your bill is $550. Somebody asks you for $70. It's just $20, but a $20 difference that you're gonna be short. But
Yeah.
still, it's like, yo, like you don't know when you're gonna get no more money. You saved your money because you know you got a bill coming up. that's one of them times. Unless you got a chance where you could, like, I know I can get some more money. If you don't think you gonna, hey, I can't do it, boss. Like, and then that's another thing I have to learn to say no. Like, I have family members in jail. They calling me, and I feel bad for them. I'm like, man, you already in the can. You feel me? I already
Mm-hmm.
know how that get. Y'all don't. Nobody eat the food, so you trying to cash out at the vending machine or commissary every chance you get. I don't know who are sending you money. It ain't my business. You already in that box for who knows how long. So every time you call me, I know you done made your rounds calling everybody, but still, it's like you in the box. You need it.
Oh,
So it was times I'm like, dang, so I ain't really got it to be sending you $60 every week.
I just feel like if you're gonna ask for something, like if you're gonna ask for money, bro, don't just hit me up when you need it.
Yeah,
Man, hit a brother up every now and then just to check on me. Yeah, I
yeah,
know. At least I know eventually somebody. So you about to ask for
yeah,
something, like,
yeah.
brother, but you just hit me up out of the blue.
Mhm.
I'm kind of like, oh yeah, you need something. But if you hit me up every now and then, I might not know what you want.
Yeah. Now I've gotten that too. Like people that like I used to be cool to hit me, and unless we was like real cool, like it's some of my like childhood friends that like I don't know. I feel like I talk to more of my newer friends more than my childhood friends, with an exception of like one or two people. But like some of my really like close, like actually like family. I know all their family. They know all my family. I don't talk to them on a regular basis. You know, we just do our own
Mm-hmm.
things. So if they was one of them was to call me, then I know, all right, yeah, I got you, because that's really like my family for real.
Yeah.
But if it was just like somebody who was like, we went to elementary school together, and we might have played the game a few times since then,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little bit like. So my thing is, I'm a people pleaser. Like I set my situation aside to try to make sure everybody else is like good. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, how can I make this situation better, no matter what the situation is? So I'm like always trying to like help somebody else, even if sometimes it'll backfire and put me in a rough spot. So that my biggest thing, I had to learn how to say no. Like, you gotta learn how to
Yeah,
say
you
no
do got to learn
sometimes.
how to say no because eventually it turns out it really turned out to be your fault at the end of the day because you never said no. You waited so
Yeah.
long to say no. Now they expecting a yes. You
Now
feel
and
me?
then that and then sometimes it be as soon as you say that one time it turn no. Oh man, he didn't changed up.
Yeah,
Oh man, Hollywood, yeah.
yeah.
Like man, hey, watch your partners, or they go on Instagram, mow the grass, the snakes out, or
You ever so on PlayStation? Have you ever met a partner that you still cool with?
like through the game.
Yeah, through the game.
RPK Bizzle, man. Long live Bizzle forever. One of my partners I met through the game just passed away, man. That was my boy. Uh, he was really like my arch nemesis, but he started off as my young boy.
Yeah, I got a man. I got so many people that I didn't met on the game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got one dude. He from North Carolina,
Yeah.
and I met him on the game, bro. He like a brother now. Like we conversate every day,
Mm-hmm.
and bro, it came from playing 2K. Like in 2017, we met each other, and
You know what's crazy about 2K? And I think that's why a lot of people make friends on 2K is because 2K brings out the worst in people. And it
yeah,
ruins your real relationship.
the good
Like,
and the bad.
exactly. So, and I think it ruins the real relationship you have with the real people you know, like your or quote unquote IRLs. And I think that's how I know so many people in the 2K community, because I get frustrated with the IRL, and I'm like, man, I'm going to find some new niggas to play with. And then I be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Now some of these people, I probably played with them 2Ks ago. We still cool. Like just small stuff like that.
And we didn't even, bro. We met on bad terms. It was
Exactly.
2K17. It was 2K17. It was me, uh, my homeboy that stay in Beaumont and his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And we was playing, bro. We was on the street.
Yeah.
We was on the street. We was like on a 20-game street. And they just kept coming back, bro. Like we was busting, and they just kept coming back, kept coming back. Then they joined the party. It was a couple of them that I met like that.
Yeah.
And they just kept coming back. And all of a sudden, we started playing a game with each other. And then we just linked up after that. Then I ended up meeting them in person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bro, this wild. Like, and I also had people like when I played PlayStation, I knew people. I never met them, but we was close then too. But it's just crazy how you could build a relationship with somebody that you never
That's
physically
what I was
met.
just about to say. So I actually think at one point that was borderline like insanity, crazy, idiotic to meet somebody offline. But I think that's like the new normal now. I think that's how a lot of people meet people.
Yeah.
Like, how did you meet your wife, your lovely wife?
Shit, Instagram.
Exactly. So it's like, and that was really before. That was like when y'all met, like 2017,
20.
16,
We met in 2015.
dang, 2015. So that was before it was really popularized. Like, cause I don't even think this. When did YG make that song? It goes down in the dim. It go down.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think that
know.
might have been like 18, 17 ish.
And she had just made an Instagram
Exactly.
too.
So y'all was ahead of the curve. But I think that's actually like the new norm now. A lot of the business, because I meet a lot of people business wise, like, but like working on stuff like either photography, got brands,
Yeah.
collabing. A lot of these people I meet either at events or online. So I think that's normal now. But at one point, I think that was like pretty crazy.
That's why it's back to the thing when we was like, ain't no dude about to just go walk up to a female and get their number.
Bro, I honestly think like if the act like the if you look at the odds today, it could go two ways. If you talk to a female in person, they're like, this dude's a freaking creep.
Yeah.
Take my Instagram, hit me later.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like this. Oh, you try to talk to him in person, they'll be like, oh my gosh, he's different. He's bringing chivalry back. Yada yada yada. Like it's literally like
Yeah.
with life is different, bro. It's like it could go. It's like a double headed sword. Like it can literally go two ways, and I think a majority of the world is toxic and bipolar, which doesn't help the situation at all.
No.
Like a lot of people. Matter of fact, not even on bipolar. How do you feel about therapy?
Like what kind of therapy?
Like just
Like just for yourself? Like just for like for your mental health? Or like
mental health therapy.
I never did it because it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean I wouldn't have a problem with it. I just don't it's some things that I wouldn't talk about because it's some things I feel like I can get through with by myself. But it's some things that I do really want to like get somebody else's opinion. But that's one thing. I would listen to somebody else's opinion. Like, don't mean I'm gonna take it,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna listen to it and see how it goes. I mean, you might be saying some legit stuff that I never knew. I didn't seen it before. I didn't heard of it before. I didn't did my own research, but I still never took it in until somebody else said something.
See, I before I get into that, I don't like whenever it's a mediator, like somebody that's hearing both sides of the story, and I don't like when the mediator. You can tell, like I think I'm very unbiased. So anytime I'm making an argument, unless I'm truly not saying something, which is rare, but it happens. But unless I'm truly not saying something, my point is pretty logical of how I'm going about any situation. So I don't like when the mediator gets swayed on accident. It happens sometimes. Like say you talking about a certain situation and they get swayed and they didn't even notice, but you're like, yo, can you like, bro? If I draw a 6 this way, it's a 9 from the other side. They're like, no, I'm looking at a 6. She's right. I'm like, can you at least come and look? I see a 9. There's no way you can see a 9 because we're both looking at a 6.
Yeah.
I don't like those type of mediators. So, but back to therapy, I don't know how I feel about actual therapy. I don't like the term therapy. I rather I like the term vent. You know, I like that term. I don't like therapy though because I feel like you kind of going outside of Christ to look for internal repair. You
Looking
feel
for
me?
answers.
Yeah, like just you trying to repair yourself from the inside mentally, but you're not going through Christ.
Some people, bro, honestly, they do therapy because they just like you said, they just like venting to somebody.
Now, I used to say that too. I was like, bro, sometimes I feel like I should have been or could have been a therapist because I think I'm a great listener and I give good advice. Now, if I'm a therapist though, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be frustrated if you ask me the same thing every week. Like, hey man, Sally at work, man, she gave me the little wink today. Hey, 2 weeks later, Sally at work, she came and asked me to go get coffee. 2 weeks later, Sally brought me lunch. Dude, Sally like you. No, we're just good friends. Like,
but see, and it also, damn, I forgot what I was about to say. That mug just went away.
yeah. But why I keep going. So one reason, that's another reason. I feel like if you, I don't like therapy because I feel like the only person you really need to therapize with is God.
So, yeah, wait. So this is before I forget again. So basically, what I was saying is, I feel like a therapist. They say they don't supposed to tell nobody, but I think they tell. If they married, they telling their husband or they telling their wife. It's something, bro. You're not keeping that to yourself.
Well,
not everything.
Some of them really take that like extremely because it's actually illegal. Like,
it is.
Like so, some of them take that extremely serious, and they really will not. Now I'm pretty sure it is a few that be like run
Because
their
some
mouth.
things but some things they might think that's important that they need to keep to themselves.
Mhm.
But what if it's something that they think that can just go out and they won't worry about it?
Well, actually, sometimes some therapists, even though they do keep everything confidential, they do tell certain, like, all right, say if you telling me about all these things, right, and I'm your therapist, I'm like, okay, this guy's showing signs of,
Yeah, so they trying to get you help.
they're like, this guy's showing signs of being a serial killer.
Yeah.
Uh, hey, I'm gonna bring in a friend, and we're y'all gonna have a conversation. Like, oh, I think you should see this person. I
Yeah.
reckon, like, because they like, okay, I see what this guy needs more than just my help. He needs, he's a sociopath, or he's a whatever, like he's depressed. Like a therapist can only do so much. A therapist is really for the people that can't look in the mirror and analyze themselves. Like those, like because most of the time people look in the mirror and they don't see it. So
Hmm.
a therapist is showing you what you're not seeing. Like, hey man, all my relationships they end, and I get so angry, and I end up breaking holes in the wall because they just do me so wrong. It's like, no, you're violent. That's what the problem is. If you busting holes in walls, you're violent. You're overly aggressive, causing the end of these relationships. And sometimes some people don't see it until somebody sit them down, somebody that they don't know,
Yeah.
and they only giving you an answer based off of what you've given them.
Yep.
Now, one more thing, before we wrap up, how do you feel about lying? Since we're on the topic of therapy,
Lying,
yes.
I hate liars. That
I,
is that's like a pet peeve to me. Don't lie to me. I'd rather you tell me the truth and I'd be disappointed than you lie to me, bro. That's and bro, you can ask my wife, bro. I don't I don't like liars. Like liars is if you lie to me, that if you gonna especially if you lie about something small. If you lie to me about something small, that means you're gonna lie to me about something
something
big.
big.
And then it might mean something. Like it might be
Yeah.
something real serious, but you
Mhm.
you think lying and you can just cover up the situation. Nah, bro. Like just tell me the truth so I can be good and done with it.
I don't like lying, and I especially I made a post about this on my Instagram. It got to me so it's like so many people. I don't know why, but so many people think they're perfect. What before I even like undig and uncover why you think you're perfect, why are you lying to yourself?
Hmm.
Like if you can't, and those are the people that I really cannot trust. How am I gonna trust anything you say? Is if But if you're, how am I gonna trust anything you're saying to me if you're lying to yourself on a consistent
Yep.
base? You haven't been, not saying you, but I'm like this person. They like, man, bro, I need to start losing weight. I'm gonna lose it one day though. But they haven't been to no type of gym. They're eating crazy. They're not trying. You're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're like, hey man, I think I can still make it to the NBA. No, the odds of the NBA are very slim. You can still probably go overseas or
Especially
something.
if you're not doing nothing. If you're not training or doing nothing,
Like
like
even if you 7 foot, it's a lot of 7 footers that's
yeah,
not in the league. You gotta, and I feel like that's the biggest thing that'll help the world. You gotta be real with yourself.
yeah, before you could be real with anybody
If
else.
you can't look within and hold yourself accountable, nobody can hold you accountable. And that's why it end up being all these killings, police brutality, all this stuff going on, people dying over females and all this, and because it's so much lying and lying to themselves, lying to peers, all this unnecessariness going on, and all this will be resolved if you just look within. How you gonna judge somebody every single day and don't want nobody to judge you, or
True.
if somebody judge you, you getting offended? Like you don't see how hip, hip, hip,
Hypocritical.
hypocritical how hypocritical that is, because it's like you're not even keeping it real with yourself. You like, hey man, I hate people with glasses, bro. Ah ha ha ha. But you
But you
can't
wear
see.
but he wear glasses.
Yeah, you like, hey, my glasses cool, but hey, nerd.
That's another sign of being a hater though.
I think it really comes down to like people being hurt on the inside though. Like, cause when people are constantly trying to tear down somebody else or alter real life to fit their standards and fit their means, unrealistic means, I think that's just like some internal stuff like that happen with it. And then most of the time it is like, because whenever you get to uncovering all that, digging deep on the inside, seeing who this person really is, what they're about, and why they do the things the way they do, is most likely like once they finally open up, it's like, man, when I was a kid, my mom didn't show me any love. My dad didn't show me any love. I had to live with my grandma. My grandma was very strict. I didn't have any friends. I was forced to go to church. I couldn't like it gets so deeper, but I think once you're just putting on like it's called really called imposter syndrome. Because you're putting on a mask every day, portraying a false image, but you're trying to keep up with the means of society. So you're trying to fit in and kick it. So you hurt, but it's like you seeing on social media that hurt people going out on yachts the next day. So you are developing these senses like, oh, it's not cool to be hurt or mourn or deal with emotion for more than a small or a certain amount of period of time. So you think, oh, my window for grief, pain, and mourning is up. So I got to get back to normal. So you're gonna put on this mask, paint your smile on, and go on about your day. When real talk, when it's deeper than that, you gotta let that out. Because when you just keep it built in, bottled in, one day you're gonna pop.
And that's what a lot of them do. That's why a lot of them shoot up schools. A lot of them kill people because they let all of that build up, and then they feel like they can't take it no more. So they do what they wanted to do from the beginning, bro. And that's what I don't like. Like I feel like if you got any type of syndromes that you feel like you want to commit suicide, that you want to like do something bad to people, bro, just go get help. Like don't try to lie to yourself. Like you said, don't lie to yourself thinking that it's just this day I'm like this, or it's just this month I'm like this. No, bro. Like if it's on doing it on a consistent basis, bro, go get help.
Now I ain't gonna lie. So like I said, I don't believe in therapy, but I believe in venting. So this is me venting. Like this is my version of the modern day therapy. So I'm gonna get a little deep. Me personally, that was me growing up, bro. I used to bottle it up because I was like I was always smiling. Everybody loved me. I was the good kid, woo doo doo, so well mannered, yada yada. And bro, when I was by myself, like my mom and all, they don't even know that, bro. I used to be furious. Like I'm talking about, like I used to walk outside punching trees. Like I was like angry, and when I just get angry, the only way you can express it as a kid is just physically.
Yeah, because you can't talk and say
exactly. And then, bro, when you a kid, that's another wild thing. Is growing up as a kid is you can't say nothing. And if you say something, it's back talk or being smart.
You never. And that's the thing, bro. When I have a kid, I want them to express their opinion. Express your opinion, bro, because it don't matter if you. Everybody has an opinion and everybody wants answers.
Yeah.
So yes, it might be a time to where look, I'm not. You don't need to know that right now, but I would like for you to express. Now, don't get smart with it.
Like, but no, it wasn't even like that. It's like sometimes, like you could be honestly being legit or being 100 answering the question, and they take it as being smart as a kid. Like they could be like, is there some water? Is there some water in the fridge? You could be like, and they right by the fridge, or they closer to the fridge than you. And you, is there some water in the fridge? Like, I don't know. I didn't look. You look. What? Like what, bro? Are you like you? And that's really crazy. And I think the new, like our generation and the kids that come from us and all that, I think that'll mellow all this violence and stuff like that. Because I think though our parents came from our grandparents were most likely children of slaves. Because I know my great grandmother who passed away, her parents were slaves. So so when you coming from slavery, then you go from slavery to segregation, and then it's still even the third generation. Like my mom, she was born in the 80s. That's still a little segregated. It wasn't as bad then. It was lightening up. So until it's a bad way to put it, but until that whole generation is washed out and gone, like hate to put it like that, but it's true. Then our generation is lightening up because we're like, yo, they were traumatized. They dealt with certain things which caused them to act and to live and go about life a certain way. So each and like I already see it now. I've been around some of my family members with kids that let them be vocal. Then they very vocal, and I'm like, damn, these are some of the same things I would have probably got popped for, like snatched up.
Yeah, it's a whole different generation. But when they say it's generations change, generations definitely change because there's a lot of things that kids do right now that we would have never got away with when we was kids.
Bro, when I was a kid, you couldn't. It was. I know you heard this. It was you didn't have no wants.
No, it wasn't no wants.
Like,
and you ate what was on the table, bro.
bro.
Kids nowadays, I don't want that. I want McDonald's.
And you know what's crazy?
You got McDonald's money?
my mama always be making jokes like, well, like she be like, you so critical about everybody cooking, but you gonna eat whatever we make or whatever. I'm like, well, I was raised that if I didn't like it, I wasn't gonna eat.
You going to bed hungry?
Exactly. I'm eating sleep sandwiches. I'm eating sleep souffle. I'm going to bed on, and then when I was a kid, I'm not that way now, but I was. I guess you could say I don't like this word either unless it really applies to you. Which I called people this word because it's true, but I guess you could say at times I was stubborn and I wasn't giving in on how I felt. So I'd be like, "Hey, bro, I ain't gonna eat it, and I ain't eating the leftovers either." And then you're like, "Dang."
And then you wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and you're trying to sleep to get you a snack.
Stomach touching your back. Y'all ain't got nothing else in there. You like, man, I'm gonna find something. We're gonna figure it out. And then they're like, nah, we ain't cooking until the leftovers gone.
Hey, I used to try to do that. Like, we couldn't have snacks upstairs, bro. And I was the dude that my parents' room, so they gonna laugh at this. Well, my mama gonna laugh at this, bro. So the door is right here, and they got some stairs that go up like this.
Yeah.
So it's a new side of the house, so you got to walk through another door to go like to the living room and the kitchen. Mm-hmm. So my daddy used to get these chips, bro, all the time. He used to get like hot chips and all that. So I used to have friends over, and they'd be like, "Man, go get us some chips." I'm like, "Nigga, you know we don't supposed to have snacks up here." So, bro, I got chips in my pants, bro. Chips in my pockets. Like, I used to bring a hat. I used to bring a hat and carry the chips in the hat because it didn't make a loud noise, bro. And they used to leave their door open. I used to run on the side of the wall so the sensor for the light don't come on.
Dang,
bro, I was a ninja back then.
Dang.
Then I get caught because these dudes want to leave their papers, they rappers, and I say, bro, y'all got one job. I sneak the chips, y'all at least put them in the trash can.
Nah, bro.
Got me caught, son.
I ain't gonna lie, our old house, you know our old house, mm-hmm. But that old house, so all my friends used to come over, they used to always be like the house talking to us. Because, bro, I kid y'all now, our old house, I still don't know why I made these noises, but people used to come over and be like, y'all got a ghost living in the wall. Because, like, our house at certain times, I don't know if it was the settling or what, but it did it forever. Like, all long as I know. And I kind of got used to it and didn't, but people would come over like, bro, what the? And like, at random times, our wall, you just hear this. Like, it didn't sound like somebody, but it was just like a noise, like more like on some gears or something. So, like, it was almost like the house really was alive. So when you walk, and there was an old house. The house was passed down from from my grandfather to my dad. And we just kept adding on to it and remodeling it and stuff. So, like when you walk down the certain halls, majority of the halls, it was like real screechy, like like loud noises and stuff like that. So it really wasn't no sneaking for us. You just had to, like, if you wanted.
The stairs creaked a little bit, but you had to find that certain spot that didn't creak. So you might start off on you. Sometimes you had to skip a step. Yeah. That one step creaks, so you got to jump over 2 steps just for you to
see me though. My sister, like, she was my arch nemesis until like probably, how old she is now, 24. Mm-hmm. She was my arch nemesis probably until 5 years ago. Like, even when she was 18, 19, she was still like the ops. Like, bro, like she was ratting on me, snitching on me, hitting on me. Like, she was like just 12 in the building. So I'm like, anytime I did anything, I gotta be on my P's and Q's. So I'm like, bro, I gotta outsmart my sister because she slept with her door open. My parents, they used to shut their door. But you still gotta be quiet. You make too much noise down here. My sister, she guard dog patrol, so she light sleeper, so she listening and all this. I'm like, man, bro, it ain't even that serious, bro. It's crazy.
But so I guess we can go ahead.
Yeah, I think we didn't give y'all enough game. You know, we didn't bless y'all with a few stories. We don't want to get too deep. You feel me? Because we got 150,000 more episodes to go. But like I said, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at Troy Jr. You can follow him at
D Prince the Barber.
uh, Dapper Dialogues. Y'all see it on the screen. Like, comment, and subscribe.
And
We
also,
appreciate. Go ahead.
not to cut you off, but also don't forget to ask questions.
Yeah.
Ask
And
questions.
you can ask us questions anytime you want. Before we end though, this episode is sponsored by 3P Legacy and Beyond Noir. We are grateful of those lovely sponsors. They do us wonders. They keep this whole program running. Before we end though, make sure that like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Word of mouth is the best promotion. All praise to God. Keep God in life. And
Thanks.
we out.
Thank
Peace.
y'all.